This video has been demonetized upon uploading. Please consider a modest donation to help support this channel. Our pay links can be found in our bio.
I got into this industry when I was 18, about to turn 19, and I just have always loved sex and being a sexual person, so yeah.
I got into this industry when I was 18 years old. I'm really horny.
I was 18 whenever I first got into sex work, and I originally started out as a stripper.
I've been making nude content since I was 18. I submitted to Playboy when I was 18. I didn't get in, but that didn't stop me. I ended up doing Suicide Girls, and then that transitioned into OnlyFans.
Well, when I was 18 and a half, I started making non-nude dom content online, putting up my own videos, flipping off the camera, telling losers to pay me money, and that was really, really fun. Then I met a man who brought out the submissive side in me. I convinced him to ditch his job and move to Vegas and do porn with me, and that's what we do now.
I was 18 when I got into this industry, and I was inspired to participate because I was stripping, and I figured I wanted to jump into something a little bit more.
So stripping and OnlyFans, while they're still in the same community, they're both in sex work. Stripping has the benefit of having instant cash. You can get the money that night, and you get to have real personal interactions and talk to people face to face.
Interacting with people face to face. Some people prefer being behind a camera. It's just your own personal preference.
What was your body count before you entered this profession?
Before I entered this profession, my body count was in the 50s. I don't know exactly.
My body count was 11 entering this profession.
I hit 100 before I did porn. So when I was a stripper, I had some friends when I hit 50. They threw me a halfway hoe party at the strip club. And I was like, well, what's next?
My body count is so high that I don't know. Wait, don't use that. I don't know my body count.
Has any of your family seen your films, and if so, what do they think?
They have seen my films. They've seen lots of photos as well. They are not too happy with me, but they're coming around and supporting me now, so.
My sister apparently has watched all my videos, and she has very choice words to say. Not very good ones.
Part of my family disowned me, but we're currently working on rebuilding the relationship.
Has your career choice ever affected your romantic relationships?
Definitely. I mean, it's hard for people to conceptualize the idea of dating somebody who has sex with other people.
Do you think people can learn to be good lovers from watching porn?
I think people could definitely improve as lovers in general, and I do think that porn could give you a lot of food for thought, but it's like, you're not going to become a great basketball player by watching basketball. You're going to become a great basketball player by playing basketball and practicing and studying, right? So I think porn could give you some good food for thought, but it's definitely not going to teach you everything there is to know. And also, there's a lot of stuff we do on camera in porn that is not really applicable to real life sex. There's a lot of positions that you might be doing just because it looks good for the camera that in reality it's not really what any girl is trying to do in real life.
Would you ever date a guy who bought OnlyFans content every week from the same creator, or would you consider that cheating?
I would first ask him, I'm like, dude, do you want to fuck this girl? Because just tell me. You know what I mean? And then if it continued despite the fact that I'm offering all this, I would probably dump him.
Let me tell you something, guys. What you jerk off to is like the last person you killed. You keep that fucking secret. You got no reason to go spilling the beans to your girl. You're giving her ammunition that she does not need. She's going to find shit to fight with you over no matter what. Don't tell her who you're jerking off to or whatever. Clear your cache, clear your history, open up an anonymous browser tab, memorize your password. Just my advice.
Do sex workers prefer to date other sex workers?
Not all, but I think that most do, yeah.
Some do. I will not and won't.
Why not?
It's weird.
Do you have any particular reason?
I feel like it's too based off of content, sex, and money. I like my relationships to be real.
Is there a wage gap in the adult industry?
Yeah, I think men are significantly underpaid, and I think they work some men really hard.
I think there's a lot more women than men doing porn. Porn needs more men. I hope there's more male talent that gets involved in industry.
Why do you rarely hear complaints about female porn stars making more money than male stars?
That's a really good question. I don't know.
To me, all that's doing is flattening income amongst people, right? Income inequality is a bad thing.
I think that this is one of the only industries where a woman will most times make more money than a man. And while I totally think that every man should be paid what they deserve, I also am so happy that women are finally put in a position where they can earn more than the man. Even though I think the men should earn more, I'm really happy that women have an industry where they dominate, because there's not a lot of industries where women dominate, so.
If we have more people making $1,000 a month off of porn, and maybe a little bit of that money isn't going to the girls who are making $1 million a month off porn, it's probably a net good for the community, right? I think a booger just fell out of my nose while I was saying that, but whatever.
Is there an age gap in the adult industry?
Yes, men are a lot older than the women.
I mean, I think you can be successful at any age. I know lots of MILFs, lots of grandmas doing porn. I want to do porn forever. I'm only 22, but I'm ready to be here for as long as you guys will take me.
I mean, the average lifespan of a porn star is 4 years.
Lifespan of a porn star is about 6 months.
At what age do most porn stars leave the profession?
I don't know. I've seen some pretty seasoned looking women around here, so.
I was 48 when I started chatterbaiting, and I was 50 when I did my first mainstream porn scene.
What was your body count before you entered this profession?
4.
If you weren't doing porn, what other profession would you be doing?
I'd be a botanist.
An astronaut.
I would be working at Target.
So I wanted to go into the medical industry.
So I got laid off during COVID. I used to be a college professor. Hi, if you're any of my former students.
Conservational biologist, and I would help save tigers from extinction.
My dream job is no job.
I would probably be doing marketing and graphic design and basically everything I'm doing right now, just not being in porn.
Is there a difference between a great male versus female porn star?
And that's a tough question, because I don't really look at other people as a competition. To be a great performer, I think you do need to be a great person, respecting people's boundaries, but you also, it's interesting because you need to appeal to an audience as well to succeed.
The difference is that female porn stars are basically almost a dime a dozen, and the male porn stars have to actually perform.
I think a great male porn star focuses on the females, and a great female porn star focuses on the fans, and also interacting with the camera and like knowing their angles.
Does porn appeal to women, and if so, is it marketed differently?
It does appeal to women, and it has to be marketed differently. It has to be more of a sensual thing and not just the straight up sex.
I think most porn is marketed to men. That's just true. I market my porn primarily to men.
Why are men more likely to consume porn while women are more likely to consume romance novels?
Because women are more mentally stimulated.
I think some women like more of the kinky stuff, and then there's also porn that's more called ethical porn that is made, that is a little more soft and sensual and more about the story and the connection, which can lead you to have like more of an emotional experience than just a physical arousal.
To market porn specifically to women implies that there's something about being a woman that we all have in common, and that by virtue of that, I'm supposed to enjoy a certain kind of sex and a certain kind of porn, and I think that's horseshit.
I think, well, all women are very different, I think, and I think men are a little bit more, standard.
I don't really have a favorite porn site, but my favorite porn category is the MILF.
Has the rise of OnlyFans affected the adult industry, and if so, how?
I personally think that it has affected it for the better, because more people, more women especially, get to be in charge of their own content. I think before, when there were just porn houses and people were under contracts and things like that, there were large cuts being taken, and now you get to be a little bit more in control of your own image, putting your own content out there.
It has affected it and negatively because everybody believes they're a porn star now. They don't have any idea what kind of work it takes to actually make a scene.
The rise of OnlyFans has empowered the creators and taken power away from the mainstream corporate institutions in porn, which, for better or for worse, because I think a lot of the mainstream companies, Vixen, browsers, whatever, they serve a purpose, but the fire is definitely a little bit more under their ass to, provide value for these girls, because at the end of the day, the girls don't need them in the same way that they absolutely needed them 5-10 years ago,
Does the influx of amateur sex workers cheapen the work of professional sex workers?
Define professional sex workers.
What was your most embarrassing moment caught on camera?
Oh my God, I don't know if I can say that on your YouTube channel. I don't want your video to get flagged.
Most embarrassing moment caught on film.
My most embarrassing moment caught on camera back in the days when you were allowed to stick objects inside of you.
My most embarrassing moment caught on film. This one's a fucking good one. I'm telling you right now, like, I have never told this story in an interview, and I'm kind of nervous too because it's vile. If you don't like scat, get out of this. Like, don't watch this.
What was your most embarrassing moment caught on camera?